Nino Brown Boxing, and I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So I just read this article on Boxing Scene, and Erickson the Hammer Lubin. Erickson Lubin has made it known that he's open, willing, and ready to face all of the top guys at 154. The super welterweight division, the junior middleweight division, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Lubin said he ready. He said Jason Rosario, Jamel Charlo, Jared Hurd, and I'm sure it was one more name that is slipping my mind at this point in time, but it is what it is. Y'all get the picture. Now, I guess my whole thing is, how do I feel about this? How does this make me feel? 154 is my favorite division. 154 is where all the smoke is, and 154 is where all the smoke clashes, more importantly. Now, I'm all for it. I really appreciate it, but it's only one thing that about this whole situation. I don't want a repeat situation with Erickson Lubin and Jamel Charlo, because Erickson Lubin, he has some step up fights. The whole Nathaniel Gallimore fight, I feel like that was definitely a step up and a step in the right direction. But I feel like it's one piece that that needs to be met. Oh yeah, okay. So I opened up the article and it says, we are ready and willing to face any of the top guys like Charlo, Jason Rosario, Jared Hurd, Tony Harrison, Erickson Lubin, and Brian Castano. And I'm all for it, because the point I was about to make, I want to see Erickson Lubin versus Erickson Lubin, because you have a guy in Erickson Lubin. He's an older guy, but he has more experience than any of these top guys at 154. He's been a champion. He was the longest reigning champion at 154 when it comes to these crop of guys before he lost his belts. He's lost. He's gotten back up. He's had tough decisions. He's extremely skillful. All that good stuff. We know how Erickson Lubin is. Now, you have a lot of people that don't particularly care for Laura's style, but we've also learned over the years, when it comes to Laura's style, the only way, if you really want to get Laura to fight, you want him in an action-packed fight, you gotta have him in there against a guy that's going to take the fight to him and going to force him to fight. And when he's put in that situation, Laura fights back, and he definitely delivers. I feel like that would be a great fight for Erickson Lubin. You have an older guy like Laura that could potentially pass the torch to Erickson Lubin. And even though I feel like it would be somewhat of a 50-50 fight, considering Erickson Lubin's, he has, increased, he has developed into a better fighter now, and Erickson Lubin is more so on a decline. He's facing Father Time right now, but factor in his experience and the amount of experience that he has over Erickson Lubin, a 50-50 fight, it'll definitely be a great barometer test to see if Erickson Lubin needs to stay a tier below the top guys at 154, or if he's ready to catapult himself into these title fights. Is he ready for a Jamel Charlo rematch? Is he ready for a Jared Hurd? Is he ready for a Julian Williams? Is he ready for a guy like Tony Harrison? We have a list full of people on the PBC side that he can fight, but I feel like he should start this thing off against Erickson Lubin, and let's see how it all plays out. I mean, you have a guy like Jared Hurd. He's only one fight back after a loss. Tony Harrison, he just took his loss most recently. Jason Rosario, I'm sure he's going to have to deal with mandatories, and he already lost to Jamel Charlo. I feel like this is an opportune time for him to face a guy like Erickson Lubin. I feel like it will be a perfect matchup for him. That him facing Erickson Lubin also puts him in a position where he can arguably say that he has just as good of a resume as some of his peers when it comes to 154. Even with the Lubin fight, he may be one fight off, but considering his young age, he'll be extremely close. So I'm all for it. I want to see it. If he wants to smoke, I say go get it. But at the same time, He's also ranked, to my understanding, extremely high by the WBC, and that would put him in line with Jamel Charlo. But even another way with that, I say fuck it. You already lost to Jamel. Tony Harrison, and he got knocked out by Jamel as well. I say fuck it, Erickson Lubin. Go ahead, make a move, and go after Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison is a guy that beat Jamel on the scorecards, and then he came back and he got stopped by him. If Jamel is not going to give him his trilogy, you can at least, slide in there. If you can beat Tony Harrison, Jamel has to respect it. And he can, people can talk all the shit they want. Tony Harrison's chinny. We all know Tony Harrison's skilled and he has underrated power. And if you got a guy like Erickson Lubin coming in there that's already fallen victim to inexperience, I feel like this would be a great opportunity for him to show us what the fuck he got. So I'm looking forward to it. And it's Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'm out.